Hey, you guys, how you doing? Happy Saturday. Happy spring. Welcome to the First and 10 NFL podcast, our virgin show. My name's Kevin.
My name's G. Welcome, everyone.
How you guys doing? We're here to talk football, free agency, the draft, you name it. Let's go.
Yep.
How
Everything
you do-
sports, we're ready.
How you doing this morning, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. Up all night watching the phone, watching the app, seeing what moves are being made, yelling at the screen.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was a big week of free agency, man. A lot of big signings, a lot of
Yes.
money, a lot of
Yes.
money spent.
Yes. And we still have some money. I don't know if we're going to spend it, but we still have some money.
Yeah, I do. We're peeling out a dollar at a time.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, counting the nickels, quarters, and pennies to add it up.
Yeah, I mean, we made some. I think the best signing we made, the Jets, was Carl Lawson.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
3 years.
And the wide receiver. The wide receiver will be fine.
Yep. But I mean, we needed that edge rusher bad.
Agree.
And I mean, what, 3 years, $45 million, $30 million guaranteed.
Yep, opt out after a second year. So
Yep,
it
yep.
was a good signing. It was probably a great signing for us. I was watching
Absolutely.
I was watching his press conference the other day, and definitely a down to earth guy. You know, he didn't sound like a me guy.
Oh
Like,
yeah, he's pumped. He's
Yeah.
pumped. He's ready to go. That's my
Yeah,
kind of
and
guy.
even when-
Absolutely.
even one of the reporters, he'll remain nameless, asked him a question. He said, I'm not gonna talk bad about another team or what was offered from another team. It's just not fair to that team. So then the reporter tried to be cute and say, well, I'll rephrase it. And again, he wouldn't answer, which I thought it was pretty cool that he wasn't going to slag anyone or
Absolutely.
talk negative about anyone.
Absolutely.
You know?
No, he said the things I wanted to hear. It's good.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a great signing. Great signing.
Exactly. Now, let me ask you a question. In all the years you're watching football, we're the same age, we're watching it just as long. Every coach likes to bring some of their players along. Are you surprised that no 49ers have jumped on board, or we have yet to hear any offers to
Absolutely.
any 49ers?
Because that's all you heard was how many Niners were going to follow Saleh.
Exactly.
Here. So, especially Richard Sherman.
Yep.
Richard Sherman's telling Deshaun Watson to sign with the Jets. Well, Richard Sherman ain't signing with the Jets.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So my question is that every free agent has a dollar value. Them and their agents say, this is what we think we worth. Are we just undercutting everyone? Like, do we think these players are not worth what they're saying and we don't want to pay them?
Listen, it's like I was saying the other day. It doesn't matter who the GM is. It doesn't matter who the coach is. It doesn't matter who the players are. Jets do things on the cheap. And lately anyway, and when they did spend big time, Favre, you could go on and on and on. Yeah. They always get screwed.
Exactly.
It's always a waste of money.
No, you're right. And to capitalize on what you're saying is, I saw a stat yesterday that over the last 5 years, the Jets spend the most money in free agent. They're the number one spending team over that 5-year period.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I saw that.
And last year, I don't feel we spent a lot. And this year, I don't feel we're spending a lot. And we're still number one. The other thing is, in that 5-year window, we have the worst, not in the AFC, in the whole league, the worst record in football.
The worst.
So, you could spend, but you have to spend wisely. My question is, do we have enough faith that Joe Douglas spend wisely in last year's draft and this year's draft?
At this point, no.
Okay.
No, I don't anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you because I'm an angry Jet fan. They know more. He knows more than me. He knows what he's doing. Maybe I'm just so jaded because all these years with Tannenbaum and McCagnon, I'm so used to winning March. And now we're not winning March, but that's
and losing September through December.
That's true. I should be glad that we're not winning March, and maybe we're starting something.
Maybe
new.
We're flipping the philosophy.
Exactly. I'm hoping because to be a New York market and not be in the playoffs for the last 11 years, over the last 5 years to be the worst team in football. Like when I was growing up, you made fun at those teams, like the Lions.
Yeah, sure.
No
Tampa,
offense.
Tampa Bay.
No offense to their fan base, because their fan base is just as good as our fan base.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now I'm looking at these teams going, what happened here? When did the roles switch? Why are we so pathetic as an organization?
I think it starts at the top with ownership, actually.
Man.
I mean, as bad as Leon Hess was as an owner, I mean, he was good too. I mean, Parcells respected him. Belichick respected him. That's why Belichick left. That's one of the reasons I think Belichick left. And, I resign as HC of the NYJ.
Yeah.
Because new ownership took over. They all loved Hess. And Parcells loved Hess. When he died, that's it. They all.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm not going to argue any of that. But do you think, are you like me, a scorn lover when it comes to Belichick? Like, you wonder what could have been if he stayed?
Yeah, but do you want somebody that doesn't want to be here?
No, I'm saying, let's say he did want to be here. Let's say.
Well, I mean, I look at last year with the Pats. All right, let's compare apples and oranges. Look at the Bucks last year. Look at the Pats last year. Do you think it was the quarterback or the coach that led the Pats to their dynasty? Look at Belichick when he was with the Browns. He was one of the worst coaches in the league.
Agree. Listen, I hate to sit here, and it kills me to say it, but I have to give Tom Brady the respect he needs.
Absolutely. I can't stand him. I hated him for years, but you got to respect the guy.
Exactly. I respect him. I think it's funny how he still tries to throw our team under the bus, when he does these interviews still. But hey,
if he ain't throwing Super Bowl trophies from boat to boat, he's throwing the Jets under the bus.
Exactly. Right? He's got to be throwing something, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, back to these signings, some of them were crazy. I mean, New England got rid of Thuney. Okay. I wanted him.
Yeah. At $18 million a year?
The Chiefs blew it out of the water. 5 years, $80 million.
Yeah.
I mean, they're building that wall around Mahomes.
Yeah.
So,
agree.
I mean, and it doesn't matter who we got as a quarterback. If he's on his back, he ain't going to throw it to anybody.
I agree. And that's why the quote I read 3 days ago, which is starting to pick up steam because I'm starting to see other shows talking about it, was the Matt Lombardo quote, where he said he spoke to one GM and the GM came right out and said, or the offensive coordinator, he outright stinks. Do you think Sam Darnold outright stinks, or is this guy trying to make it sound like he stinks so other teams back off and his team could move in?
In his rookie year, he looked like he was going to be something. Okay. Since then, I don't know whether it's coaching. I don't know whether it's switching offensive coordinators. It's gone. So, I mean, I think he can be fixed.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know.
I'm a Sam Darnold guy, and I always will.
So am I.
Yeah.
So am I. But
I'm hearing all this negativity now, but there is a lot of strong positivity that you're hearing from, you hear like Dan Orlovsky and Mel Kiper and even Bill Parcells talk great about him. The no-name people who are bad-mouthing him are afraid to put their name behind what they want to say. Like, I want to know who this Matt Lombardo interviewed that the GM or the offensive coordinator, he stinks.
Yeah. Probably somebody that wants to trade for.
Exactly. Because you never really
pushes value down.
Exactly. Let's get rid of everyone who thinks they want him and will take him. Like even Pete Carroll came out and spoke highly of him.
Well, yeah. Look at the rumors that he was going to get traded to the Seahawks.
I know. Listen, I know when we put this up in the comments section, people are going to call me names or whatever. I still say that if Darnold was on Buffalo, if he was on Cleveland, with the weapons those teams have, he'd do fine.
Well, I mean, you can't go by the last 2 years with Gase. I mean, look at Tannehill.
Exactly.
Okay, got away from Gase and it was like plays like a
Exactly.
Pro Bowler. So
Exactly. And then here's another stat that I find funny because everyone brings up the interceptions, and I get it. But over that 3-year window, two Hall of Famers have thrown just as many interceptions as he did in that
Mhm.
in their first 3-year window.
Absolutely, Manning, one of them.
One being Drew Brees,
Yep.
and one being Roethlisberger, who I believe both quarterbacks will be in the Hall of Fame. We're going to watch those guys go in the Hall of Fame. And in their first 3 years, they threw just as many interceptions, and so did Matty Ice in his first 3 years.
Well, look at Peyton Manning in his rookie year and his second. It was horrible.
Oh yeah.
Look at Eli. The Giant fans wanted to run him out of town.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure people forget Troy Aikman's first year where he was 0-14, and Jimmy Johnson finally benched him, and Danny White won the last 2 games until they got some weapons and help and a mean line in front of him who kicked butt and wasn't afraid to get dirty.
And I mean, to me, if you got a serviceable quarterback, you got just as much chance. Surround them with good players. Okay, I mean, look at when the Ravens won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need a super. You don't need a Tom Brady.
No,
you need a freaking team.
I agree because Marino. No one could tell me Marino wasn't an excellent quarterback, and he went to one Super Bowl, lost, and never seen it again.
Nope.
Meanwhile, you got guys like Trent Dilfer who won a Super Bowl. No knock on him. Who else? Listen, Jeff Hostetler and Phil Simms were good quarterbacks. Some might say great. They were good.
Mark Rippett.
Yeah, they were good, but they weren't household names. The household name doesn't win.
Exactly.
You know? Exactly. So don't tell me you need protection, a good game plan, and a serviceable quarterback, and you could win in this league. And I feel Sam is a serviceable quarterback. I think the Jets did him a disservice in what they did for him over 3 years.
Huge.
You know?
Huge.
I'll take it one step further, and you could tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm nuts. Sanchez was successful his first 2 years because he had weapons coming out of his everywhere. He had an offensive line that was big and strong. And then what happened? What happened in season 3? They decided to take everything away. They decided to dismantle everything.
Yep.
And he showed what he was. He was average. Yeah.
You go to the AFC Championship 2 years in a row. And then you disband everything.
Yeah.
Then you it doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah. So don't tell me that with a good offensive line and some weapons, Pennington. I'm sorry. I'm seeing the thing in the background. Love Chad Pennington. Darnold cannot be serviceable.
No, I listen. No quarterback's going to be serviceable without surrounding him with weapons and keeping him standing upright.
Agree. A la Mahomes in the Super Bowl that we just saw 2 months ago, running for his life.
Which is why the Chiefs just spent $80 million.
Exactly. Exactly. But let's go back. Let's go back to that. The offensive lineman we signed, this Feeney, I don't know what we're getting from him. Everyone keeps saying he's a nice utility player, someone to punch in for a player.
Terrific. That's all we do is second tier, third tier. You never get the studs.
Exactly.
We haven't had the studs since Rex, and then before that, Parcells.
Exactly. So all the Jet fans, again, who want Zach Wilson, what is he going to do with Fant, with Lewis, and who's the other guy I'm missing? Van Roden. What is he going to do with that? That poor kid's going to be running for his life too.
Yep. I mean, when I think of our offensive lines the way they used to be, when we were halfway decent, DeBrickshaw, Mangold, Faneca, Woody.
Yep.
Damian Woody was like, yeah.
Even take it back to the Richard Todd years with Fields and Marvin Webster, all these.
Todd is God.
Yeah, you know.
Yep.
All these big guys who didn't care. They wanted to push you around and get in your face and.
Yep.
You know.
Willie Colon.
Yes. Yes, Bronx born Willie. Woo!
Play with an attitude.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Somebody
You're not
touches your
pushing me
quarterback.
around today.
Somebody touches your quarterback, grab him like that.
Yeah, you're not pushing me around today.
That's right. That's
And
right.
listen, it was only a small sample, but I liked Elflin or Elflin,
Yes.
however you pronounce it.
Yeah,
He's the
yeah.
one guy I didn't want to walk out the door.
I know. The moves they make just baffle me sometimes.
Now, let
They
me
just
ask you a
baffle.
question. Maybe you heard something because I didn't hear anything. Why was Lewis IR the last 5 games of the season, and yet he's still on the team? Was he really hurt? Was there
Beats
coaching
me.
problems? We don't know that, but yet he's still around.
Listen, 3/4 of the stuff that staff did made no sense to me. I don't know why. They never gave explanations.
Mhm.
I think they BS'd us half the time.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? It's done. It's gone.
Yeah.
Good riddance.
Mhm. And I'll tell you what, I usually watch, win or lose, a lot of the press conferences on our Jet station. I couldn't watch Gates because I've never seen a coach throw players under the bus. Never took it on himself.
It was never his fault.
Never. Never. You know, I just didn't get it, you know?
It was
Point
never
the
his
fingers at everyone else, but never at him.
It was never his fault that he was over there going
Yeah.
with whatever he was doing.
Yeah. Whatever, though, making dinner reservations.
Yeah. Playing with his little clipboard over there, nobody around him.
No,
Nobody
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Come on.
know.
And
But-
you look at other coaches, the good ones. Is Andy Reid always sitting on the bench talking to Patrick Mahomes in between plays? Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Is Belichick over there gathering his defense around on the sideline? Always.
I remember 1 year, I don't know what play it was, who the player was, but it was the Steelers. He came off the field and Cowher grabbed him by the face mask, spit coming out of Cowher's mouth, yelling at him, telling you watch Jet players make mistake after mistake, come off the field, and they get high-fived.
Well, yeah, of course. It's okay. Go sit down. Have a Gatorade.
Yeah, don't worry. You'll pass the quiz next time. Are you kidding me?
That reminds me back when Parcells was the coach. I think it was late in the season, okay? It was a really important game. And I think they were going for a first down. It was right in Corbett's hands and dropped it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They had to punt. Here comes Corbett. He knew he was going to get the wrath. He knew he was going to get the wrath. So he walked all the way around trying to avoid him. And you see Parcells cutting through people.
Yeah. I remember that.
Trying to get to him, and he finally gets to him. He's like,
and we haven't seen that since Rex left.
Exactly.
Todd Bowles, for better or for worse, maybe the first coaching job never works as well as you want. You didn't know if we were winning or losing. He had that look like, I don't want to be here. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Could have been intercepted. We could have scored a touchdown.
You didn't know. Exactly. And
I call him he was a mummy to me.
Yeah. As the papers gave him towards the end, toilet bowls, And
I mean, Gase, we could go on and on and on.
The fact that Joe Douglas, and here's what worries me, the fact that Joe Douglas didn't fire him after season 1, I'm sorry. I understand we finished the season, 7-9? Was it 7-9? We won the last 5 games or whatever.
Yeah. Which was a mirage.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't want to believe it was, but yes. Yes.
I mean, everybody was all pumped up. Oh, wait till next year. Yeah.
I was.
Terrific.
I was.
So was I. I got to admit, so was I. But
yeah. So here's another thing I got to bring up, which I had to laugh. When we finally signed this Cole, the slot receiver, everyone was saying, well, now Crowder's out the door. And I'm thinking, why?
Why? That's crazy. Crowder was your best receiver last year.
He was the only weapon that Darnold is used to. It's the same reason why you shouldn't have let Richie Anderson walk out. Robbie Anderson.
There you go. There you go.
And my point being, I heard people say, well, if the Jets signed Juju, Crowder's out the door. And again, I'm sitting here going, why?
Yeah.
Buffalo-
What, you can't have 2 slot receivers?
Exactly. And here's the example. Buffalo just lost a receiver, I believe, Josh Brown or John Brown, I believe his name was. And what did they do? They signed Emmanuel Sanders. They didn't say,
Of course.
"Oh, we don't know what to do with a 5th receiver. We don't know what." What do you mean? Why can't you sign a receiver and still keep Crowder?
And you know what Buffalo did that surprised me? They signed Trubinsky.
I know. Because Darnold and McDermott, they're the real quarterback whisperers, not Gase. Gase is a Mama Luke.
A Mama Luke. You know, I haven't heard that since my grandmother.
He is. When you listen, back to the receivers thing. I don't know what game it was, but I remember it was the first play of the game. Buffalo came out in a 5 wide receiver set. 5 wide receiver set. So when I hear Jet beat reporters or, people say, oh, well, now that the Jets signed this receiver, they got to let this receiver go. No, if you have a good coach with creativity, you could find a way to feed.
He'll work everybody in.
Exactly. But I think the Jet beat reporters are so delusional because they're used to bad football. They don't see it. They don't see it either.
Interchange some of these guys. A play you might have Crowder running, put somebody else in there. Even if you use Barrios or something.
Yeah.
Mix it up. Do something.
Let me ask you a question. Now, he's up there in age. Let's take Emmanuel Sanders, who just signed with Buffalo. He's going to be their 5th receiver.
Yep.
On our team, what would he be? He'd probably be a number 1, right? Or a number 2 now that we signed Corey Davis?
Number 1.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm hoping.
So don't tell me you can't find a way to get 4 or 5 receiver sets. You win if your coach is creative or you do something that puts the other team back on their heels.
Well, Mr. Offensive genius last year. There was no, like, every time they lined up, I knew what they were going to run. You can see by the formation. There was no creativity whatsoever.
I'm bowing down to you because I know.
And if we're sitting there watching television and we can see the play that's coming, you don't think the defense recognizes it?
Let me tell you something, brother. I want to come in that screen and hug you because I sat here for years with my wife and my son, who's only 13 and doesn't have the biggest knowledge, but's watching over the years. And he'll say to me, Daddy, how did you know? Because I see it. And if I see it and I'm just a putz,
there you go. Exactly.
These coaches see it. They're probably laughing.
Of course.
Yeah.
I forget who it was we were playing. It was like they knew the playbook.
Yeah.
Do you remember that game? I'm trying to remember who it was we were playing. It was like they knew the playbook because they knew every single play that was coming.
How many times did New England look like they were one step ahead of us? They knew where the ball was going before we knew it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This 2 years ago, even the Bengals looked like they knew what we were doing. They knew everything that was coming. It was just so vanilla. It was just so vanilla,
The last 2 years have been a nightmare.
They
really have.
And you want to talk Gase, offensive genius. Yeah, 1st and 10, run Gore. 2nd and 8, run Gore. 3rd and 7, run Gore. They're very creative.
Yeah. Well, let's run the 37-year-old when we got these young backs.
Exactly. And you want to laugh. The Raiders game, Gore gets the concussion on the 3rd carry.
Yep.
Don't ever want to see anyone get hurt. We bring in Ty Johnson and we get our first 100-yard game in week 14. I thought Gore was just supposed to be a piece to help these younger kids.
No, he fed them and fed them and fed them. He was trying to get them yards.
Yeah.
He was trying to get them records.
Yeah, so that when Gore makes the Hall of Fame, he could thank Gase. And
Gase Oh, thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy.
Joke. Please.
Joke.
I'm really hoping Sleepy Joe or Deep Pocket Short Arms Joe, whatever I call him, I really hope he turns this around. I'm hoping Salah is the guy that me and you are saying here 7 years from now, and we still have him as a coach.
I mean, everybody's preaching patience. Well, holy crap. how patient are we supposed to be?
Yeah.
You think
I've
we've been
for
patient enough?
45 years. Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly. And that's what sometimes I don't think they understand. Yeah, maybe these are good moves and we shouldn't jump down their throats right away. Let's see. I guess I'm just so jaded because I'm used to the big names, the big splashes, and now we're not getting it. I'm just
Yeah,
hoping.
but I mean, like you said, like we were saying before, the big splashes didn't work for us.
No, true.
They
True.
really didn't.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I have to change my ways of thinking now with this new regime, and I'll have to sit back. And it doesn't mean I have to like it, but I'll have to sit back and cross my fingers and toes that this is the new way of, thinking.
And what do you think they're going to do at quarterback? They keeping Sam, they trading him, they drafting Wilson. What are they doing?
You're asking me personally. I want Sam here. I think he's a great quarterback. I think they're going to trade him. I think they're going to reset the clock for dollar purposes, and they're going to start all over.
Yeah, because they owe him a lot of money coming up.
Yeah. They're gonna, if they pick up this 50 year, it's gonna be for 25 mil.
Yep. You could pick a rookie at number 2.
Yeah, it's only gonna, and because it's only gonna be 1 year, it's gonna cost you like 7 or 8 million. Now now let me ask you, on the rookie deal, if they picked up the option, they could defer that money, couldn't they? Spread it out.
Yeah, there's always a way. Yeah. There's always a way to back end it. Yeah. I'm just. That's when you have it. That's when you have a creative cap guy.
Yes.
That's what Tannenbaum was so good at.
Yeah, true. You're right. You're right. I just get this fear that they're going to trade Sam and he's going to go somewhere else with a good
and
coach.
Be a star.
And he's going to be a star. And we're going to be sitting here 3 years going, all right, what's with this Zach Wilson kid? The thing I'm afraid of, and I'll leave it here after this. The thing I'm worried about with Zach Wilson is, at least from what I'm hearing, maybe I'm just looking for the negative. I'm hearing more negative than the positive.
Yeah, I know.
I hear, and that's not his fault.
Well, everybody's really high on him all of a sudden.
Yeah. On a cupcake schedule. The schedule he played against was cupcake.
Wouldn't it be something if the Jaguars take him?
Well, here's
with number 1.
Here's what I'm keeping my
fingers. And there's Trevor Lawrence there for the Jets.
Yeah, but that would be what the Jets would do. I'm still again crossing my fingers and toes and praying to the football gods that Urban Meyer has his Ohio State legions and picks Justin Fields.
Yes.
Trevor is sitting there to us.
Yes, and there's Trevor.
Exactly.
We'll now, okay, which brings me to my next question.
Okay.
If he was sitting there, would you take him and forego Sam? Would you still want Sam if you had a shot at Lawrence?
No, I take Lawrence.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm a Sam guy. I'm not a dumb guy.
We're not stupid.
Yeah.
We're not stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I'm close to being stupid.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. No, you gotta take Trevor. You gotta take.
Absolutely.
Trevor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Your mouth to God's ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, brother, this was good. This was fun.
Hey, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this first podcast. More to come, believe me. It's good. It's going to get better and better. And eventually we'll like your participation. No doubt. Yep. We got the draft coming up.
Exactly.
Pretty soon.
Yep.
It's going to be a blast. Well, this was cool, brother.
Yeah, very good. Yep. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good.
Have a good one, Jet Nation.
See you guys later. Let's go, Jet Nation. Jet up!